Hello everyone, this is Joel Davis with the United Medical Transportation Providers Group, and you are thebroker.com, helping you to build a highly effective and highly profitable broker business. This is an important video and I encourage you to watch the whole thing. I just had confirmation from a client who, very interesting scenario here that has played out. It took about 1.5 years because we actually had to go to trial. This is an interesting scenario where two business partners started their medical transportation business several years ago. It was generating about $500,000 2 years ago, close to 2 years ago, when one of the partners unfortunately and unexpectedly passed away. He had a heart attack and passed away. So long story short, what ended up happening is they didn't have in place great insurance policies or buy-sell agreements or anything like that. So obviously the deceased partner, the wife, obviously inherits his estate, which means that she had interest in that business. So I'll skip over all the legalities and nonsense, but long story short, if you were to go to my website, milliondollartransportation.com, under the product guide, you'll see where I have the executive business evaluation opportunities. So I was retained to develop a executive business evaluation on the business because, long story short, what was happening is, after a lot of the emotions settled down, the widow and her attorney obviously had interest in the business where her husband was 50-50 owner, and they were claiming that the business was valued at over $1 million, which clearly this business was not valued at over $1 million. It was still a young business, smaller in size. Again, it was around $500,000 revenue per year at that time. Now, since then, the existing business partners continued to grow the business. By last year, the business has grown another 30%. So, long story short, this past February, I actually had to fly down there and testify as an expert witness, if you will, to the status of that business at the time when the partner passed away. Part of the thing is, here's what's interesting. This is why I hate the word broker. Even though I have youarethebroker.com, it's a completely different type of broker. A lot of these business brokers, when you retain them to buy, sell a business, obviously they're going to do their best to represent your interest, but they're going to dramatically inflate the business, especially when you retain a broker to sell your business. They are going to be such drama queens and grossly inflate the business, which was clearly the case here. And they use a variety of metrics. Now, this is why when it comes to buying and selling your NEMT business, I can't stand these industry metrics, because so many times they are just full of crap when it comes to the NEMT industry. The NEMT industry is a very unique industry, like most industries, but a lot of the generic metrics do not apply. So again, this broker was gassing up this widow, just inflating her, telling her that this is valued at over $1 million. It clearly was not. The broker then turn convinces her attorney. Clearly it was not. So obviously I worked with this client intimately in great detail on this project, as well as his attorney. Again, went down there in February, had the trial, testified as an expert witness regarding the NEMT industry to the value of the business at that time, which is very important because her attorney was still trying to argue that the business was going up, they had continued interest, etc., etc., etc. So we had to fight that battle as well. But long story short, the good news is the decision just came down. It was supposed to be 10 weeks and obviously took longer than that, but the decision was just rendered yesterday, and I received notification today that even though the entire situation is just unfortunate for both sides, for both parties, what is good is that the client that I represented, the existing business owner, did prevail in this case. But here's the downside. It cost him almost $70,000 in legal fees. So the entire situation is just jacked up, and it's unfortunate for everybody. The widow, the existing business partner. Who won in all this? The attorneys. So a couple things. Number one, I would encourage you, if you're ever thinking about buying and selling your business, don't hesitate to invest in the executive business evaluation because it proves critical. He retained me. I did an executive business evaluation, and then his attorney contacted me. We had several conversations and correspondence over a long period of time. And then obviously the attorney flew me down there to be an expert witness. So obviously my role continued to increase, but the stakes were high. So again, but who were the real winners? Again, my client ended up paying like $60,000, $70,000 in legal fees. It's crazy. So is there really a winner? No. So again, don't ever hesitate to invest in the executive business evaluation because it will benefit you. Because I could tell you a million and one stories and scenarios of different projects I've worked on, which leads to when we have our seminar in July in Atlanta, Georgia, I would like to dedicate some time to talking about buying and selling and or preparing your business for buy-sell agreements. And the reason it's important is because, again, if you've watched my previous videos, you know the NEMT industry is changing. So there are a lot of you right now, you need to sell your business. Now think about what I'm about to say. Some of you right now, you need to sell your business because right now is the ideal time for you to sell. Now with that being said, if it's an ideal time to sell, that means for other people, it's an ideal time to buy. So you could argue it's a buyer's market and a seller's market. So again, I think it's very important, especially after this entire situation with this particular client provider, as well as some of these other, again, I'm almost constantly working on some buy-sell agreements and acquisitions. So I think it's very important that we do allocate some time at our Atlanta seminar in July to discussing the buy-sell situation of your business. Now again, the seminar is absolutely free for our active licensees. Again, our Atlanta July seminar is free for our active broker licensees. So people who have actively become licensees for youarethebroker.com, seminar is free for you. So again, your only quote-unquote ticket is going to be Amelia in a few weeks is going to email you some general questions because I want to learn more about the status of your business right now, where you're at, what you envision, some of the questions you have, things like that, so I can further consolidate and shape the messaging of this seminar because our time is going to be limited. We're going to have a morning session, we're going to break for lunch, then we're going to have a lengthy afternoon session, and I want to get a lot of Q&A in there because I know people love the Q&A. So it's important. So again, make sure that you respond to Amelia when she emails you. Now again, I know some licensees can't make it. I know that this is short notice and I apologize. I know you had conflicts with your schedule. Again, that's on me. That's my fault because I didn't plan on having this seminar until just recently. So if you can attend, awesome. If you can't, I apologize. Now, some of you who are active licensees, you've paid good money and Amelia has reached out to you via email and you haven't responded. Please respond so we're not playing a guessing game. We need to get an accurate count so we can make sure that we have the appropriate venue. She's already been working to talk to some different hotels and make those accommodations, but it's important that we get the right venue. Now, Lindsay and Amelia have received a lot of different questions. I won't go into all of them now, only for time because I've obviously talked and run pretty long on this video, but a lot of questions have come in about the actual licensing program itself and the opportunity. So let me reiterate, the situation is this. I told you from the very beginning in some of my earliest videos, if you're looking for a cheap ebook, some cheap DVDs, this is not for you. This is legitimate business opportunity that you're getting into. Now, my attorneys, they're independent attorneys. They have formed a consortium and together they all represent a host of franchisees. Everything from, I know they have the Subways, they have some people who are McDonald's franchise owners, etc., etc., etc. Now, when I first met with these people almost 2 years ago in the great city of Pittsburgh, that's where I was introduced to them and on some different projects, and that's when we had the conversations regarding this business itself, the youarethebroker.com training system. Now, they are the ones, I'm going to be absolutely honest with you, they are the ones who helped me structure this licensing program. They actually have set the pricing. So when some people say, why is the price so high? It's because at the end of the day, these people have great experience dealing with franchises and actual business models, well beyond the NEMT industry. They have actually set the pricing for which I have agreed to, because I have, by all means, the opportunity is there. Now, some of the reasons that they have structured the pricing the way they have is, number one, is my revenue in my business. When you look at my sales growth and my revenue, it's impressive and it's good, and therefore that's led to a higher price point. Another reason, I'd be absolutely lying to you if I understood all the metrics that they use for franchises. And again, there's different types of franchises, different types of restaurants, things of that nature. So again, they explained a lot of this to me, a year and a half ago, whatever. If I could regurgitate it all with accuracy, I would, but guess what? I'm going to be honest with you, I don't remember or recall all of their metrics that they use to calculate these variable price points, but hey, again, I have faith and trust in them, and it's a great opportunity. Some other quick things is we keep in mind that some of you have actually looked into investing in different types of franchises, and I encourage you to do that. Before you even invest into the youarethebroker.com training system, consider and go and research some of the franchises that are out there. Go look at a Subway. Go look at a McDonald's. Look at the cost. Look at the franchise cost. Look at the cost per year for royalties. Look at the cost, the upfront cost you need for real estate, i.e. the location of where you're going to have that restaurant or that type of business. Look at the equipment cost. Look at the labor cost. Look how much it costs to enter into one of those franchises. And then come back and then look at youarethebroker.com and consider my sales volume. Look at a lot of those videos that I published previously where you could get a and I will literally show you my authorized.net account on any single day, and you can see that we're making a lot of money with a high price point. And again, we have a higher price point versus we're not doing these nickel and dime $5, $10, $15 deliveries. Last year alone, in 2017, our average delivery was $101 and 36 cents, I believe. So regardless, we have a much higher price point. The revenue generation through my business is only continuing to grow. We are already on track to further grow in 2018 as we were in 2017. So when you consider, if some of you out there, again, because since I first published the seminar in July in Atlanta, we've had even more people express interest, and that's where all these questions have come into play. Again, look at it. You are legitimately entering into a business. We are giving you a business model. So go weigh that, do your due diligence, do your research, look at any other franchise out there that you want. We're not giving you a franchise. You are becoming a licensee, and we're teaching you so that you build your own brand. We want you to build your own brand. You're not an independent contractor. You are building a network of independent contractors and building your own brand. We don't want to control you. I'm going to guide you. I'm going to show you so you can duplicate exactly what I'm doing. I've already done all the trial and error. The first 2.5 to 3 years of my business, that's where I made the mistakes. That's where I learned a lot. You're not starting your business from that point. You're starting your business from around 2014, 2015, when my business really started to multiply, explode, and take off, because that's when we really, again, it was compounding success, and that's where we were tweaking and modifying the business to see what works, what doesn't work, how to make sure that we protect our commission interest in the business itself. So again, to be clear, you're not buying a franchise for $200,000 plus 7% royalty fees, plus all the equipment, plus all the labor costs, plus the real estate venue. So you're not doing that, not even close. We are teaching you how to invest in, to become a licensee, how to invest in and build your own brand. I'm going to show you how to do exactly what I do. You leverage contractors with their assets. Now listen, when I say you're leveraging contractors with their assets, I know that doesn't sound sexy. You and I both know people who love to brag about their business. They love to brag about how many employees they have. They love to brag about all their revenue. You ever notice how I don't brag about all my revenue? The reason I don't brag about all my revenue is I don't want to be one of those guys. I'm making a lot of money, no question, but I'm not out there flashing it in everyone's face, because you and I both know people in the NEMT and outside the NEMT who love to brag about how many vehicles they have, how many employees they have, their office space. You starting a broker business is not a sexy business. You're going to have zero assets. If you structure your business just like me, you will have no assets, no insurance costs, no employees. There's not going to be a beautiful fancy office where all your employees come to congregate and sign things out and to operate things. It's not going to be like that. Again, my business is spread out over 5 states right now. I have some contractors who I haven't met. My regional directors, my regional directors are key, absolutely key to helping me build, grow, and retain the core structure of this business. But again, overall on paper, this is not a sexy business. This is not a asset-rich business. Let me be clear. You starting a broker business is a cash-rich, asset-poor business. I know that's not sexy for some people. Now for me, it's awesome because it definitely contributes to the flexibility of my lifestyle, number one. Number two, I'm still able to focus on some of my other business interests without any type of conflict. So it gives me great convenience. And most importantly, I'm making a lot of money. Now earlier on the video where I talked about the business broker, understand, you are not a business broker in the traditional sense of you're not out there trying to buy and sell businesses. The reason why I call it youarethebroker.com is because you're the broker, everything will flow through you, but you are out there making sales and building your own network. So I encourage you, if you have not yet completed the application process and you want to attend the July seminar, make sure you complete the process as soon as possible and please respond to Amelia's emails to make her job a little bit easier in coordinating everything. It would be of great convenience to her as well as to us for our planning purposes. So I hope you found value in this video and look long term. Look long term with your business. You're going to leave your business at some point in time. So you're either going to sell the business, you're going to go out of business, you're going to be, unfortunately, like my client's partner and pass away. What's going to happen to your business? So I think it's important, it's absolutely critical that we at least spend some time at our July seminar talking about buying and selling your business. So I hope to see you there, because if I see you there, I absolutely guarantee you that I'm going to show you how to make a lot of money, and in so doing, I'll see you at the top.